Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce, my name is Muhammad Luthfan R.H and I'm the moderator of this group. And I'm with my friend. There is Faiza Zahra Habibah, Crishadian Nur Muhamad, Deya Kurniasih Rahayu, and then Zahira Shofa Nurfadillah. And then today we are going to present about our project that called the difference of the production of sound in English and Indonesia. So the first one is about the production of sound will be presented by Zahira. Zahira, time is yours.
Thank you to the moderator for giving me the opportunity to explain the material about the production of sounds and the production of cluster. The first one, I want to tell about the production of sounds. 1. Sounds and their production. Sounds can be categorized into various groups depending on the criteria we use. 2. The production of consonant. Consonant and vowels are produced in a completely different way. In the production of a consonant, the part of the mouth involved are the tongue, the lip, the teeth, the tooth, the palate, the phloem, and the uvula. Then I want to talk about the production of cluster. The term cluster is usually used to refer to two or more consonants placed one after the other. The two or more consonants must belong to the same syllable. In English, we have clusters such as LPL as in help, SPL as in split, and KS as in six. Some languages allow cluster at the beginning or the end of a word. English, for instance, has 39 consonant cluster occurring in initial position and 151 in final position. That's all I can say. I will return it to the moderator.
Thank you, Zahira, for the explanation. And the next about the production of vowels and the production of diphthongs. That will be explained by Deya. Deya, time is yours.
Thank you to the moderator for giving me the opportunity to explain about the production of vowels and the production of diphthongs. The first one is the production of vowels. The production of vowels, as stated earlier, vowels are produced differently from consonants. The parameters for the vowels production are A. The height of the tongue, B. The position of the tongues, and C. The rounding of the lips, D. In some case, in the way of necessary to consider a fourth parameter, namely tense legs. From the height point of view, the tongues can be placed high, mid, or low. This difference height bring about difference in the degree or resonance. When the tongue is high, the resonance space is the mouth is at its minimal, the air expressed through the narrow passage. On the other hand, if the tongue is low, the area for the resonance is at its maximum, and when the tongue is placed somewhere between high and low, that is the air expressed in halfway. The second one is the production of diphthongs. A diphthong is a combination of two vowels which meet the following requirements. 1. The vowels must belong to be the same syllable, and 2. The strongest stress fall in the first vowel. Thus, we have diphthongs such as au and as in cow, I as in white, and I from as in boy. The Indonesian au as in cow is also diphthongs, but au as in cow is not because the two vowels a and u belong to two different syllables. The a to ka and the u to is similar fashion. The vowels I in the Indonesian word ramai and santai constitute a diphthong, but ai in mine or kain do not. That's all from me. I return it to the moderator.
Thank you, Deya, for the explanation. And then next, we are going to explain about the Indonesian consonant. the Indonesian diphthongs, the Indonesian vowels, and the Indonesian rhythms that will be explained by Crishadian Nur Muhamad. Crishadian, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to the moderator who gave me the opportunity to explain four things about 1. The Indonesian consonant, 2. The Indonesian diphthongs, 3. The Indonesian vowels, and 4. The Indonesian rhythm. Okay, number 1. The Indonesian consonant. The stop are produced somewhat differently from the English counterparts, particularly in the presence or absence of the aspiration and the voicing. Indonesian would not normally aspirate the English, and when the sounds occur at the beginning of syllable with a strong stress. Compared to English, there are English sounds which are not found in Indonesian. This being the case generally in Indonesian, have more problem in learning English than the other way around. 2. The Indonesian diphthongs. Indonesian has a poorer system for the combination of two or more vowels in one syllable, called diphthong. Than that of English, we only have a, and as in the words below and spelled as I, O, and Oi, respectively. 3. The Indonesian vowels. The number of vowels in Indonesian is controversial in this book. We follow the egg vowel system, due to the fact that English has at least 11 vowels, and there is no consistency of pronunciation in Indonesian. There is a great problem for Indonesian learning the English vowels. For instance, we have a problem in distinguishing the English words. And 4. The Indonesian rhythm. As far as rhythm is concerned, language can be divided into two groups, those with a syllable time rhythm and those with stress time rhythm. In a syllable time rhythm, the base is determined by the number of syllables in the utterance. Each syllable is given the same amount of time and loudness. Language like Indonesian belong to this group. Thus, the following sentence is pronounced with each syllable being stressed more or less in the same way. The longer the sentence, the more time it is needed. And okay, that's all I can explain. I'll return it to the moderator.
Thank you, Christian, for the explanation. That so much to explain. Yeah. And the next, it's about exercise that will be explained by Faiza Zahra. Faiza Zahra, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to MC for providing the time and place. From 4 questions, I will only discuss questions number 1 and number 2. Uh, Number 1 is, what are the parameters to be considered in producing a consonant? Okay, the parameters to be considered in producing a consonant are: first, the point of articulation. The point of articulation. This refers to where in the vocal tract the airflow is obstructed or contracted to produce a specific consonant sound, such as the lips, teeth, alveolar ridge, palate, or phylum. And second, the manner of articulation. The manner of articulation, this describes how the airflow is obstructed or modified at the chosen point of articulation. It can include stops, fricatives, affricates, nasals, or approximants, among others. And at the last is the vocal fold vibration. The vocal fold vibration is this parameter determines whether a consonant sound is voiced, vocal fold vibration, or voiceless. Vocal folds do not vibrate. Voicing can distinguish pairs of consonants like B and P or Z and S. These are all important parameters for producing consonant sounds is speech. And number two. Number two is what are the parameters for vowels? What are the parameters for vowels? The parameters for the vowels production are first tongue height. These parameters refers to how high or low the tongue is positioned in the mouth when producing a vowel. Vowels can be distinguished based on whether the tongue is in a high or low position in the mouth. And second, tongue position. Tongue position. Tongue position. This refers to the horizontal location of the tongue in the mouth when producing a vowel. The tongue can be in a front, central, or back position, and this affects the type of vowel produced. and and then lip rounding. Lip rounding is a parameter related to whether the lips are rounded or unrounded when producing a vowel. This primarily affects rounded vowels like U and O. At the last, tense legs. Tense or legs refers to the degree of muscle tension in the mouth and throat when producing a vowel. It also influences the quality of the vowel, with tense vowels having greater muscle tension compared to lax vowels. These parameters collectively help define and classify vowels in different languages. They are essential components in the study of phonetics and phonology of language. And you can try filling in the rest of the questions yourself. And that's all from me. I returned it to MC.
Thank you, Faiza, for the explanation. And then last, about the conclusion, is that this comparison of English and Indonesian language can be known by seeing the similarities and differences between those two languages. We can assume that the big problem in mastering that language is in pronouncing the word in the context of consonant phoneme and vowels phoneme. And then based on the research, we can anticipate and find good method in learning pronunciations, so that it can help the learners overcome the pronunciation problem in communication and minimize misinterpretation. So the major problem in pronouncing the English words is because by the differences in the sound system. I think that's all from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.